Hey duders, welcome back to Oscar Obsessed ADHD. Alright guys, I've overthought, obsessed, analyzed the data, and I think I'm finally ready to give my 2026 final Oscar predictions. And let me tell you, they are chaos induced. I've wrangled all the madness and I've decided to start out with the easiest categories and work our way up to Best Picture. But trust me gang, you're going to want to stick with me because every category this season counts. So here we go, gang. The 2026 final Oscar predictions coming right at you. And let's start out with visual effects. In this category, the nominees are Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World: Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. Now, I think we can all agree that this one is going to Avatar: Fire and Ash. I've had this one locked in since the beginning of the season, and I just don't think there's any convincing me any other way. Despite how great The Lost Bus is when it comes to visual effects, I think you can't deny James Cameron, Avatar, and the fact that he's won every year that he's ever been in this category. Well, I should say that his film has been in this category. So, no big surprise there. I'm sticking with Avatar. Now let's move on to makeup and hairstyling. The nominees in this category are Frankenstein, Kakohu, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. Normally, makeup and hairstyling would go to characters who are kind of transformed into other people. Think like Charlize Theron, Bombshell, Brendan Fraser, The Whale. However, in this situation, I think there's no denying that it's going to go Frankenstein. Again, another one that I've had locked in all season, and there's just been no changing my mind on that. However, my close second would be The Smashing Machine. I think they did a fabulous job of making Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson turn into UFC fighter Mark Kerr. Or he wasn't UFC, I guess, MMA fighter Mark Kerr. But it's a great movie. Him and Emily Blunt do fabulous in it. So if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Now let's talk costume design. The nominees in this category are Avatar: Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. This was the one, guys, that on nomination morning, I think everybody flipped out as nobody had predicted that Avatar: Fire and Ash was going to get in there. However, them getting in there still leaves them at 5th place for me because, again, had it locked in all season and I'm sticking with it. We're going to go with Frankenstein for costume design. You can definitely see I've got a little bit of favoritism towards Frankenstein when it comes to these like craft categories, which, you know what, we might as well just talk right away about production design. Our nominees in this category are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. And as you probably guessed it, yep, that's right, Frankenstein. Again, another one that I've had locked in all season. And guys, these like screenshots are coming straight off my website, which will be linked in the description below. So if you want to go out there and like keep up to date on my predictions, but you know what I'm telling you? Makeup, hairstyling, costume, production design, it's going Frankenstein all the way. Moving into the sound category. Here is where you will see probably, well, not the biggest disagreement, but you definitely will see disagreement out there on film Twitter about who's going to be getting sound. The sound nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Surratt. For me, I've never had a lot of debate about this one because I think there's something about the Academy and sound that it usually always goes towards, yep, that's right, car type movies. So I'm giving it to F1, another one that I've had locked in all season. I think should somebody possibly beat it, it could potentially be Sinners, and that's only because of how much love the Academy is giving to Sinners, but I still don't think it has a chance. To me, it's F1. All the way. This next category, cinematography, is another one where film Twitter and critics have a lot of disagreement. The nominees in this category are Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Now, if you go out there and you look at like Gold Derby Awards Expert app, film Twitter in general, people have it narrowed down to like 3, right? And that would be like Train Dreams because Adolfo Veloso does so amazing in that film. I mean, it just is like entrancing, the cinematography in it. Autumn Durald Arkapow, who, by the way, is the first woman of color to be nominated in the cinematography category. And she's also the first woman to ever shoot an entire feature-length film in 65 millimeter. So, you know, you kind of got to give it that. But then a lot of people are liking Michael Bauman for One Battle After Another. I don't know. To me, it's always come down to either Sinners or Train Dreams, but I, again, have been a lock for Autumn Durald Arkapow in Sinners. I think there is no denying when you watch that film the beautiful cinematography of it and the fact that they shot it in two different formats and the IMAX and the 65 millimeter and everything. It's just gorgeous. And also, it would be nice to finally see a female win in a male dominated category. Yep, that's right. I should say, when she wins on Sunday night, she will actually be the first woman in history to win in the cinematography category. So I think between the history she made in making the film, the fact that Sinners made Oscar history by getting 16 nominations, and the fact that if they actually give her the win, she will then make history again. I think Academy voters kind of like to do that, so that's my vote. I'm going with Sinners in cinematography. Now for film editing. Our nominees in this category are F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. All season, this one again, you could go three different ways, right? You could go F1, you could go One Battle After Another, you could go Sinners. I've gone back and forth and round, but as of today, Monday, March 9th, when I'm recording this, I will release it probably on Tuesday. I've decided that, yeah, One Battle After Another kind of moves into second place, Sinners moves down to third place, but I'm still leaving F1, the movie, in for winning film editing. I just think, again, you've got a great film, a car racing film, and it did get nominated for Best Picture. I know there is correlation between a lot of the time the film editing winner will also be the Best Picture winner, but that only happens like half the time. So, you know what? I am sticking with F1, the movie, for film editing. I don't know. That could be a crazy, stupid call because maybe the voters want to give something to One Battle After Another more than just to like Paul Thomas Anderson, but I don't know. We'll get there. Okay. So that's it. That's me for lockdown. Well, not entirely lockdown. That one might change. And if I do change my mind, gang, I am going to like release shorts after it. So make sure that you're subscribed. But anyway, now let's move on to music original score. The nominees in this category are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, or Sinners. Again, this is talking about the score piece of it. And I just don't, as much as Begonia's got great score in the background. I mean, it is remarkably beautiful, as does One Battle After Another. For me, a movie about music with all that great music, it's been a lockdown for me, Sinners, all season. I don't see Ludwig Göransson losing this battle come Oscar night. The guy is phenomenal when it comes to scores, and so to me, he's locking down his third Oscar win for score come Sunday. Our next category, Music Original Song. Our nominees are Dear Me from the movie Diane Warren, Relentless, which this makes Diane Warren's 9th consecutive year being nominated, her 17th Oscar nomination, but that doesn't seem to matter to the Academy. Okay. We then have Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You from the film Sinners, then Sweet Dreams of Joy from the film Viva Verde, which that one shocked everyone come nomination morning, and then we have Train Dreams from the film Train Dreams. My heart would love for Diane Warren to win. I mean, I think that she writes amazing songs. I think she deserves it. I think if you listen to the song Dear Me, sung by Kesha, I think it is a poignant, fitting song. And how dope would that be for Diane Warren to finally win the Oscar? For a song in a film about her, with a song that is so near and dear to her heart, it's like about her childhood and growing up. I mean, if you haven't heard the song, dudes, listen to it. It is fabulous. I also think that's kind of where Diane Warren gets screwed over because I don't think people actually end up watching the movie that like the songs are in and they actually like hear it and listen to like the words of the song, but whatever. That's where my heart would love for the win to go. But we've all seen it. Golden has won, I think, like 70% of the awards, with like I Lied to You winning like 30%. And then nobody knows where the hell Sweet Dreams of Joy came from. And then Train Dreams, it's a great song, but like it doesn't really, to me, like do anything for the film. I've gone back and forth. I mean, if you've watched my predictions, sometimes I've chose I Lied to You, sometimes I've chose Golden. I will say a great job in the Actor Awards getting Miles Kenton to like sing a song on the Actor Awards, like which were happening during Oscar voting. I mean, what another push good for Sinners that happened at the Actor Awards, but to me, I think this one is probably going to go Golden. And I think that's, I mean, the reason it's not locked in is because I've gone back and forth. Right now, I think as much as there's love for Sinners, I don't know that that love translates over to Best Original Song. So we're going to give it to Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, even though it really should go Diane Warren. So fingers crossed. I would love to get this category wrong if she would just win the Oscar. It is such a great song. And Kesha, dude, she's dope AF. Like, come on, gang. What a great person to sing that song. Now we're moving into those categories that, let's be frank, are really hard for anybody to get right. Everybody's just out there reading on the internet, trying to figure out what everybody else is predicting. So, you know what? I've tried to watch as many of them as I can. For the ones that I couldn't watch, I've gone out and watched the trailers, I've read reviews. So let's just first talk about it. The nominees in this category are Butcher Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. Now, first off, gang, you're going to find this hilarious. So, like, every year I make, like, an Oscar book which has, like, different facts and a viewing schedule. So, like, how you can, it's that book, how you can watch, like, every film and, like, the different facts about who's in it, how many Oscars it's nominated for, which Oscars. But I got it printed off at Office Max, and the lady was looking through the book with me, and she's like, oh, Jane Austen's period drama. I love things about Jane Austen. And I was like, oh, sweetie, it's not that kind of period drama. So I just think it's funny how you can interpret things from the title, but that was an ADHD moment. I digress. But based on everything I've read, I know a lot of people are saying, you know, titles will really hook people, like, you know, that it's not really about the film so much. It's like the title gets you. So people are like, oh, it's got to be two people exchanging saliva. For me right now, I've gone back and forth, but I'm moving A Friend of Dorothy up. I watched it. I think it is a great, heartfelt story. And to me, you think about the voting rules now, and that in order to vote in a category, you have to watch all of the films in the category. I think if people are actually to watch all 5 of these, I think they're going to end up going with their heart, and it's going to go A Friend of Dorothy. However, would not shock me if it ends up going Two People Exchanging Saliva. The Singers, though, highly recommend it, gang. Go out and watch it. It's a good flick. Jane Austen's period drama, hilarious. Butcher Stain, I couldn't find anything other than the trailer, so don't have much to say on that one. The next category, animated short film. This is another one, gang, where you're kind of flipping a coin, going out on the internet, trying to figure it out. But these are more readily available than kind of the live action shorts are. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and put the links to like all the different videos that I could find out on YouTube. So if you want to go out and watch the live action shorts or animated short films, you can go ahead and do that. It'll just be down in the description below. The nominees for animated short film are Butterfly, also known as Papillon, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. This is a category all season I've gone back and forth, round and round, and then I've tried to do like this heat index thing, which, by the way, I am still trying to refine the math, trying to determine if like data and precursors and giving certain weights to certain things can help you like determine at least who's going to get nominated, potentially who's going to win. Right now my heat index was like totally off when it came to predictions, but as of today, I think I'm going to lock in Butterfly Papillon. The Academy, when they watch these films, which they have to in order to vote, I think you can't go wrong with a memory-driven animated story of a French-Jewish Olympic swimmer who survived Auschwitz. And now he's like recalling all of these memories as he's swimming. I mean, it's powerful, it's got depth, it's got heart, and I think that's what people try to get out of when they vote in these categories. But again, I could be completely wrong. Retirement Plan is funny. It might relate to people more, but I I just got to go with Butterfly. The next category we have is animated feature film. The nominees in this category are Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelia or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. When it comes to animated feature film, you would think box office ones tend to win, but yet last year's amazing Flow, which I rewatched already this Oscar season because, Dak, my little black cat, loves to watch Flo, the cat, on the movie Flow, but whatever, I digress. You would think it would go like, Who Makes $1 Billion, which would be like Zootopia 2, but we cannot forget how popular K-pop Demon Hunters was on Netflix. So to me, it's got to be what I have had locked in all season, and that's K-pop Demon Hunters. And by the way, if you haven't watched it, don't discount it. It actually is a very good animated film with a very good message. So I highly recommend it, but to me, I think K-pop Demon Hunters is walking away with the Oscar trophy come Sunday night. Documentary short film. I absolutely love the documentary short film and documentary feature film categories. We had so many good submissions this year. And the nominees for the short film came down to All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, Children No More, Were and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly a Strangeness. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to see all of these, but again, watch trailers, read up on them, watch the ones that we can. And now, again, if you've been following my predictions, based on the heat index, Armed Only with a Camera should not have even gotten a nomination. And I should have trusted my gut and put it in there because when you watch it, it's powerful. It deals with war, which we all know the Academy voters tend to steer towards. So I'm going to stick with my gut on this one, and I am going to go Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud. Plus, I think, if you remember Oscar nomination morning, there was just another journalist who had been killed that morning. They actually broke in right before Oscar nominations to tell it. And it is a very powerful documentary told through his old footage and, told by his brother. So again, I think you go with where your heartstrings are. And so there's no debating that it's Armed Only with a Camera. However, I have moved All the Empty Rooms up above The Devil is Busy. And that's only because, again, The Devil is Busy deals with abortion clinics, which may divide some voters. I don't know, All the Empty Rooms. Very powerful documentary short about, the children that we've lost to school shootings. Again, great category. Definitely I'm going to check out Perfectly a Strangeness and Children No More once I can get them. But for now, we're going Armed Only with a Camera. The next category, documentary feature films. We have The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. The documentary world has gone back and forth on who has won the different precursors, where we stand with things. I've tried to analyze the data. I've also tried to go with my gut and the fact that people have to watch them all. But then you go out and you read film Twitter and people will say, well, The Perfect Neighbor isn't really so much of a great documentary. I mean, they just did a lot of, editing when it came to body cam footage, which to me, the fact that they could edit it together is what makes it a great film. I don't know, back and forth I've gone, and I think I'm just going to stick with The Perfect Neighbor. I think it spoke to me as a person because I have a crazy neighbor who broke into my car. I know exactly who it is. People are like, why don't you confront him? Hello? Do we want crazy people knowing where I live and already stalking and being crazy? No, no, no. And after you watch The Perfect Neighbor, no, no, no. You just don't confront people. Not worth it. However, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, great documentary, and it has been winning awards, so it wouldn't completely shock me if that one comes in for the win, but I'm going to stick with The Perfect Neighbor. International feature film. The nominees in this category are The Secret Agent from Brazil, It Was Just an Accident from France, Sentimental Value out of Norway, Surat, which comes from Spain, and The Voice of Hind Rajib from Tanzania. Film Twitter, totally divided. People will say, I think it was actually Clayton Davis from Variety who said, when it comes to international film, flip a coin, see where it lands, because all of them are fabulous. And let's be real, Neon knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to buying international feature films, because yes, The Voice of Hind Rajib was good, but no other choice. got screwed over. Poor Park Chan-wook. He deserved to get the nomination. He did get effed over. Okay, but I'll get off my soapbox. So, knowing all of this, and you have to think about the crossover between International Feature Film and Best Picture. 2 international feature films this year are also nominated for Best Picture. You've got The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value. And The Secret Agent has Wagner Moura, who got the Best Lead Actor Oscar nomination, and then you have Sentimental Value, who all 4 of their stars got Oscar nominations. So, where does that matter? Again, having to watch a film in the category you vote on, that means more people have seen Sentimental Value and The Secret Agent than maybe It Was Just an Accident, Sarat, or The Voice of Hind Rajiv. However, you guys, I'm telling you, It Was Just an Accident, Jafar Pahani, oh my God, great. And the fact that my mother, who hates movies with subtitles, said it was a great movie tells you how powerful that film is. And I do think he probably should have deserved more love, but he did get the can win. For me, right now, I'm going to stick with Sentimental Value. I've thought it all season, and I think the fact that you've got Elle Fanning, Stellan Skarsgård, Renata Rensveld, and Inga Ipsdottir Ilias, they all got nominations. I don't know how you can deny that Sentimental Value should get Best International Feature Film. Again, though, would not surprise me if The Secret Agent ends up winning it because of the, love that I'm Still Here got for Brazil getting their first international win last year. And you had Fernanda Torres, who was nominated for Best Lead Actress. And so, that crossover, a lot of people say led to them winning an international feature film. But then you also had the, Carla Sofia Gascon issue with Emilia Perez, which, bumped that thing down. To me, I just don't think that The Secret Agent is the second best international feature film. If anything, I would have It Was Just an Accident up there, but I got to go with predictions and where people are. And so that's why I've got The Secret Agent at number 2. But I don't know, gang. I got to stick with Sentimental Value winning Best International Feature Film. The next 2 categories for me have had pretty clear winners all of award season, and there hasn't been a lot of disagreement in them. But we still got to talk about every category because every category matters in the Oscars. And we got to get our scores up, guys. We're aiming for 24 out of 24. I will just be happy if I can get 19 and above. But okay. So, writing adapted screenplay. The nominees in this category are Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. All right, gang. After 11 previous nominations, Paul Thomas Anderson will be getting his first Oscar Gold with One Battle After Another for writing adapted screenplay. There's no denying it. No one's going to beat him. Everyone wants to give Paul Thomas Anderson an Oscar. And obviously he's got, additional chances when it comes to oh, that's right, Best Picture, Best Director. But right now, adapted screenplay, there's no competition. He's walking away with it. So good job. You're now up to 14 nominations with these 3. You got, you have all that history of 11 previous nominations. The Academy wants to give you an award. And honestly, critics love One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson films always score above 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. And One Battle After Another is currently at 94%. It's the highest rated Paul Thomas Anderson film out there. So, okay, he's walking away with that, which leads us into writing original screenplay. In this category, we have Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Again, I don't think there's any competition. We've had it locked in all season. We're sticking with it. Ryan Coogler for Sinners. I know some people will say, well, honestly, Lisa, is it really that original? Isn't it really just Dusk Till Dawn Part 2? No, it's different than that. And let's be real, Ryan Coogler, he deserves this Oscar. It is a great screenplay. However, could Joachim Trier and Eskil Voigt end up winning with Sentimental Value? They could, but literally no precursor has shown that. So let's just, let's not even think about that. That's right. Sinners, Ryan Coogler, walking away with the gold. The next category, this is the new one this year, gang. Our 24th category, which is nominees for casting. The Oscar trophy will actually go to the casting director. But what exactly the Academy voters are looking for when it comes to choosing this winner, I have no idea. So we're just building history here. And so Again, I analyzed the data. I looked at like ensemble wins. I mean, just last week's the actor awards and that ensemble win going to Sinners, which boom, momentum at the exact right moment when Oscar voting is happening. So yeah, we'll go through the nominees, right? We had Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I'm going to tell you though, I disagree with them snubbing sentimental value in this one. How in the hell you can say that the casting director didn't do a good job when 4 out of 4 of their actors got Oscar nominations baffles me. Now I know film Twitter will say, but a lot of those people were cast like before the casting director, which I couldn't actually find proof of that. And then I have to go with, well, then why does Marty Supreme rank up there? Because wasn't Timothée Chalamet already like cast before the casting director came on? And then did they just have to throw in an international feature film in there? And then why The Secret Agent? Because of Wagner Moura? Because everything I've read, and then when you look at like the bake-offs, those are the things that people have before you get on the short list. It should have been Surratt that got casting. I mean, the amount of extras that they had to cast in their casting process was just mind-blowing. So the fact that they didn't get nominated here is a little bit like, I don't know. So again, whatever. I don't exactly know what they're looking for. Do you go with like, okay, who got the most acting nominations? And if that's the case, well, then you have to go with One Battle After Another because they got the most. But then are they thinking of it like that? Or are they thinking of it like, okay, the whole ensemble, meaning like all the extras and the other people in it? And if that's the case, then I think you have to go with Sinners. And so, I don't know, we're going out on a limb. Well, actually, it's not really a limb. We're going to go with Sinners. I think a lot of people are predicting that because Oscar voters are thinking, let's like split the difference. And if we give Best Picture to One Battle After Another, then we'll give casting to Sinners, which again, I don't really understand that whole spread the love concept. But you know what? I'm not going to analyze the 10,000 some odd Oscar voters that are out there. It would be interesting to know, though, like the breakdown of how many of those eligible voters voted in each one of the categories. So you could see the drop off of like who actually did their homework and was able to vote in all the categories. Again, that's just my ADHD OCD mind going down a crazy rabbit hole. Now we're going to move into the acting categories. And we're going to start out with the easiest one, and that's actress in a lead role. The nominees in this category are Jessie Buckley from Hamnet, Rose Byrne from If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson from Song Sung Blue, Renata Renfield from Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone from Begonia. Let's be honest. There's no way Jessie Buckley from Hamnet is not winning this. Like, even my cat, Sprout, who is, like, just sick and tired of me filming videos, is passed out over there. Even Sprout knows that this one's going to Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. I've had it locked in all season, and I'm not changing my mind. Rose Byrne, though, was fabulous in that movie. Like, even people who can't really stand the whole If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You movie have to admit that she is so fabulous in it and gives one hell of a performance. And those of you dissing Kate Hudson and thinking that she shouldn't have been nominated for an Oscar, that's what I say to you. Because she was so great in Song Sung Blue. And the fact that she does her own singing, you know what? Get off it, you guys. Like, whatever. And Emma Stone and Yorgos Lanthimos films, like, come on. And she shaved her head. Like, that alone should give her the props. And that's why she's moved up above Renata. But I'm telling you, man, I had to move Kate Hudson up because when I saw Song Sung Blue, I thought she was great in it. And you know what? It is her best performance since Almost Famous. So check it out, even if you're not a Neil Diamond fan. Next category, actor in a leading role. The nominees in this category are Timothée Chalamet from Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio from One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke from Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan from Sinners, and Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent. As I said in my actor award video, which if you haven't watched it, I was like, what in the hell happened? This would have been Timothée Chalamet's like year to win the Oscar. And I think everybody thought that after Critics' Choice, after Golden Globe. Then you get into BAFTA where Robert Moura for I Swear ended up winning, which people were like, well, that's because he's British. And so of course they gave it to him. And maybe that was the reason for giving it to Robert Moura. But then when we saw the actor award go to Michael B. Jordan, people were like, oh crap. Plus, Timmy, you might be spouting off just a little too much. And as I've said before, take a page out of Sean Penn's, Oscar playbook. Just don't campaign. Then there are people out there who are like, well, you know what? With the way you split votes and things, maybe it goes Leonardo DiCaprio. I would have thought, if anything, my upset at the actor awards, I predicted Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon because he's an actor's actor, and dude, he's in 87% of the movie Blue Moon. So how do you not give him that award if you were going to have an upset? But it went to Michael B. Jordan, which I wasn't unhappy about because I think he's fabulous in that movie. That's actually my heart pick. And he plays twins. So very different twins. To me, he gives a better performance than Timothée Chalamet. Then there are people out there who are going for the gusto, and they're like, oh, dude, Wagner Moura, 24% of the Academy body is international, so maybe he ends up getting it. Push comes to shove. This is where heart and head can come about, and I moved Michael B. Jordan up, and I moved Timmy down. Sorry, after the actor awards and seeing the way the crowd responded and the love that they gave to Sinners, and yes, the acting body is the largest Academy voting body, but again, that only makes up 1/10 of the entire Academy voting population. Even that though, I think that if you actually watch those films and you watch the way Michael B. Jordan plays Smoke and Stack, there's no denying that he actually gives a better performance than Timothée Chalamet. And so again, people might be like, oh, well, Timothy's only going to lose it now because Timmy got too cocky, talking about how this was his Oscar performance, the performance of his lifetime, which, you know what? It is the performance of his lifetime. He does great at it. But is it better than Michael B. Jordan? In my opinion, no. So I got to go Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. However, would not surprise me if Timmy ends up getting the win. Could we get a total surprise and have Leo and Wagner Moura? I don't see it. Other people might see it, but I don't see that one happening. Actor in a supporting role. Our nominees in this category are Benicio del Toro from One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi from Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo from Sinners, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value. To me, I know a lot of people are like, Sean Penn has this one on lockdown. I would have thought maybe Jacob Elordi had more of a thing going for him award season when he kicked off and won the Critics' Choice. But then losing the Golden Globe to Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value, I think then that kind of threw him out of it. I think if people are going to choose someone from One Battle After Another, I think you do go Sean Penn over Benicio del Toro. Delroy Lindo, he's got a career narrative, yet I don't really see that career narrative translating into an Oscar win. So push comes to shove for me, I don't see it. I'm going to stick with Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value. Now you can see, I did have Sean Penn at the bottom of my list. I thought honestly that actors wouldn't be able to separate their Sean Penn the person from Sean Penn, Colonel Lockjaw in the film. Obviously they were. He didn't even show up to the actor awards and he won it. He doesn't campaign and he wins. And hey, good for him. That's a strategy, I guess. He could potentially win the Oscar, yet I think when it comes down to it, Stellan Skarsgård also has a history. I think you have the international voting body. You know what? Sean Penn has won Oscars. So maybe if you think about that whole spread the love concept, they want to give the Oscar to somebody who's never gotten it before. Yes, I know Sean Penn's never gotten an actual Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, but he's got other Oscars. Does he need another one? Not that that should matter. I'm the first person to say you should give the award to the person who actually gives the best performance. Yet in this case, I still think the Academy will end up going Stellan Skarsgård. That could be my crazy out there pick. I gotta go with Stellan Skarsgård over Sean Penn, even though, let's be real, Sean Penn did win the BAFTA. He did win the actor award, so more than likely he is going to win the Oscar. But as they say, no guts, no glory. Next category, most divided that there is out there, and that is actress in a supporting role. Our nominees in this category are Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value, Inga Ipsdotter Elias from Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan from Weapons, Wunmi Masaku from Sinners, and Teyana Taylor from One Battle After Another. Everybody's got this one coming down to Amy Madigan, Teyana Taylor, or Wunmi Masaku. They've all split things not completely equally, right? We got to think about it. Amy Madigan got Critics' Choice, Teyana Taylor got Golden Globe, Wunmi Masaku got BAFTA, And then Amy Madigan got the actor award, well, formerly SAG. There's a couple things that we have to think about. One, people are saying Wunmi Misaka only got the BAFTA because, like, Amy Madigan wasn't nominated, which, you know, is possible. And the fact that she's British. But, you know what? Don't discount her win. Teyana Taylor, I mean, she gives one hell of a performance in One Battle After Another. She gave a great Golden Globe speech. People are saying, well, the actor award tends to go more on like career narrative than they do on the actual like performance. And so maybe the Oscars, especially as we learned after Demi Moore last year in The Substance, maybe they don't go so much horror. And so the actor awards, Screen Actors Guild ended up giving Amy Madigan the actor award, and then the Critics' Choice gave it to Amy Madigan for Weapons. And I mean, then there's all that talk like, okay, well, you know, Demi won everything, but then lost BAFTA to Mikey Madison for Minora, and who went on to win the Oscar? That was Mikey Madison for Minora. I don't know. I could overanalyze the shit out of this, and I could see it being any of the three of them. But for me, I gotta go Amy Madigan from Weapons. Again, I could be crazy. You can see I moved Wunmi Misaka above Teyana Taylor. I mean, after the BAFTA win, I think there's just no denying that she is a more powerful contender right now than Teyana Taylor. And the Academy loves Sinners. I mean, a record 16 nominations. Come on, gang. There's no denying that they want to give awards to Sinners. So could it be Wunmi? It could. And I know the Oscars tend not to vote on like career narrative as much as like Screen Actors Guild Actor Award does. But I still think there's no denying Aunt Gladys. I mean, and by the way, her acceptance speech at the Actor Awards when she like got totally discombobulated and started going off on a tangent, I'm like, dude, you and me speak in the same ADHD language. Like, I feel you, girl. I mean, I think it was heartfelt, and I think, you know what, she did everything she could at exactly the right time during Oscar voting. So I'm giving this win to Amy Madigan from Weapons. Moving on to the director category, we have 5 very powerful nominees in this category, with only one previous Oscar winner, and that is Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. We then have Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme. This is his first nomination. One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, who's been nominated numerous times in this category. You then have Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, who this is his first director Oscar nomination. He was previously nominated for Screenplay for The Worst Person in the World. And then you have first-time nominee Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Now, this isn't his first Oscar nomination, but it's his first directing Oscar nomination. And if the Academy voting wants to make history, then they could end up giving the win to Ryan Coogler for Sinners, because this would be the first time in 98 years that an African American won in the directing category, which is just mind-blowing to us. But I think at the end of the day, the Academy, they're going to go with Paul Thomas Anderson. I think when you look at the precursors, you look at like DGA, Directors Guild of America, and the win going to Paul Thomas Anderson. I think, yes, people want to make history. Ryan Coogler does a fabulous job, and I could be totally wrong, and maybe people won't care to give Paul Thomas Anderson the director Oscar because they're like, well, we gave you Screenplay, so it's not like you're walking away empty-handed. You finally got your Oscar to put on your mantle after 11 times. But I think at the stage in their careers that they are, Ryan Coogler versus Paul Thomas Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson's history with the Academy, I think they're going to go with Paul Thomas Anderson. And so I have said that from the beginning of awards season, and even though there's the whole history talk and the whole Sinners momentum, I've just never been able to move Paul Thomas Anderson out of that top spot. Now for our next category, the biggie, the pinnacle of the evening, Best Picture. And our 10 nominees in the Best Picture category are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. All right, we all know it's coming down to 2. One Battle After Another or Sinners. Who's got the momentum? Sinners got momentum at the right time during Academy voting, but you know what? I just said it all season, and I will continue to say it. It's One Battle After Another for me. It's a lock. I don't see anything changing my mind on that one. I've seen both films, and honestly, Love both films. I mean, personally, right away, I was like, how can anything be better than Sinners? One Battle After Another, just, it tells a story, you know, the father, the daughter, it connects to people. For me, it's been One Battle After Another all season. I mean, I don't even know how you can say that precursors are telling you it's back and forth, because really what you've seen Sinners win have been things like best cast, best ensemble, things like that. And I don't know that that translates over in this situation over into best picture. So I'm going to give it to One Battle After Another. There it is, gang. My final 2026 winner Oscar predictions in all 24 categories. Oscar night is 5 nights away. I'm feeling pretty confident about my choices. However, if chaos and my ADHD kick in, I may change some things, so make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to be releasing shorts if I change anything, or follow me on my website, themaincharactereffect.com, for all my updated predictions, or follow me also on the Awards Expert app. You follow me, I'll follow you back. Most of my predictions seem pretty right on. However, I know a few of them are out there. Let me know in the comments which ones you guys think I got completely wrong.